Hello all, good evening, back in our slot where we belong. Sunday evening here in the UK, 8 o'clock, live from Woolpatch Towers. It's me, Stuart. My shop, the Woolpatch, a yarn shop in lovely Long Melford, Suffolk, UK, where we have a 60-minute show talking all things knitting, crochet and crafting. And as I say, it's good to be back because we haven't seen you for some time on this slot because of Game of Wool. I was just chatting with Fizz, who's in my ear. Yes, producer Fizz, who's in charge of producing the show and keeping the smooth running order of it, keeping me on schedule. And in the chat there, we're dropping links down. If we talk about anything, it's always there. You can find your way to it. But we were just chatting about our last proper Sunday Woolpatch Show slot was September. And here we are now, January. My birthday month, still there, still celebrating it. It was lovely to hang out with you a couple of Fridays ago and a nice relaxed live. But if you're watching live, then let us know. Keep up with the chat. We love showing your messages on the screen. And if you're watching on catch up, hello, hope you're enjoying it. I hope you enjoy the next hour of knitting and crochet chat. I've got the most annoying ulcer, not on my lip like you sometimes get them when you run down, but it's on the bottom of my tongue. So eating is really hard and talking is really hard. So if I'm sounding a bit weird, I'm not drunk, I'm slurring because of this annoying ulcer. But it's lovely to be back, and we've got so much coming up for you. We've had a tweak of a few things, but it's the same old show that I know you love. Many of you have been with us for several years watching the Woolpatch Show, and that you can tell by the new W's in the chat. You can see the W's, and if there's a 1 or a 2 or a 3, they've been a Woolpatch channel member for a couple of years. And Fizz, I think she's got a W2 there. And we see, there we are, yes, to get rid of that. We see so many W's, channel members in the chat. It's wonderful. It all goes into the shop, all that, and it just helps us, especially in the summer, helps us to get through those quieter months. We are grateful for your support. So coming up, the new yarn. A fancy yarn, a fancy fashion yarn. That's what we're calling it. We're going to look at D&G. It was Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, and I just want to show you a few things that came up on the Dolce & Gabbana catwalk. Brief chat about the World Cup and what we're planning to do. We're virtually ready to launch. The usual gallery at 8:30. Guess the year at 8:15, and the charts. I know we've stopped doing them weekly, so Fizz has got her Sundays back to normal now. She doesn't have to find all the links for them, but we're going to keep doing the charts every month to see what's hot, what are people currently looking at. And then our new feature, Heated Rivalry, or Heated Ravelry, which is just a feature of someone, a designer, or maybe a general knitter and crafter in the LGBTQ plus world, to highlight them and see what they're knitting, or just might be to highlight them because they may just be wonderful. But they could well be a designer too. So stay tuned for that around 1:45 the hour. But yes, 60 minutes. So let's crack straight on and let's push this button and take you to the new yarn that's come into the shop. I don't normally do fancy yarns, but when I do, just get a little order and just let it go out once and then not get it back in again. So like a one order wonder. And this came in Friday, and well, no, not just, perhaps under half have gone out. The Knitter Natters are already fallen in love with it. Let me show you. You might have seen it on the camera, but look at it close up. It's faux fur, but it's big faux fur. It's from Katia. It's called Yukip. Don't know where they're getting their names from. But as you can see, even from Katia, it's a limited edition. So it's not going to be a yarn that stays in their catalogue year after year. But it's faux fur and it's super chunky. And if I try and show you, there, you can see the core and then how the faux fur just drops off. And it's just, it's like my pussycat. It's like Bobby Bean. It's so soft. There are lots of different colours. Let me show you the colours. Let me get the details up too, so you can see what it is. It's 100% polyester, and it comes in, we've got 4 different colours. So we've got the grey, then we've got the nice pink, almost like a, is it like raccoon tail, those with the tips like that? It's like an Angora, it says like an Angora rabbit. It is so soft. And this is caramel. And then you've got the most popular one so far, which the Knit and Natter Ladies Friday have taken, ice blue. And if I come back to me, you might be able to, let's get rid of the menu. We don't need that. You can probably see the difference between the blue and then the white. And there. And it's really, it's stable. It doesn't pill or disappear off. And I think Katia have got exclusivity on it. So you won't see this anywhere yet. But after their limited edition run stops, as what normally happens with the big yarn mills that do this, particularly Turkey as well, you'll probably then see the likes of Sirdar, Stylecraft, Hayfield, all the brands where it'll then be released to them. And then you might see new colours coming in as other companies say, oh, I want that, but can you do it in a different colour? I think we will be seeing it everywhere over the next 6 months, probably after that as well for a year. So get ready. And the reason why I know we're going to be seeing it everywhere is because when we talk about it after Guest a Year, I'm just going to give you a little sneak. We've seen it on the catwalk. Look at that. More about that later. But that's where I think bang on trend. Couldn't ask for more. And that's what tends to happen. Even with fashion, think about it. The fashion houses are using fabrics that the fabric companies are putting out. And that's often done even 2 years in advance. So when we see this, it's like, yeah, that's probably about right. So the yarn companies have probably gone, oh, right, I'll pick that up. And Katia have gone, yep, let's have it. So I've knitted up the free pattern, and the free pattern was a hat. Look. Don't you just love it? It is so soft. And I didn't do it as a hat though. So, because you can see there. Because I thought we want something multi-versatile. So I didn't finish it. Now, it's so easy. It's cast on 33 stitches on the free pattern and knit pretty much to the end of the ball, so about 20 centimetres. And then what you're supposed to do is then the last round knit 2 togethers. So you go from 33 down to 17. And that's exactly what I did. But what you're then supposed to do is, obviously, when finishing hat, you put the yarn in a needle and you thread it through the 17 live stitches and pull tight. Now, if you pull tight, that will then obviously enclose the top and make a hat. But I thought, actually, this could be versatile as a snood. And I kid you not, that was before D&G did their catwalk, because that only came out this week. And then when I was planning to show the photos of Milan Fashion Week, and I was collecting the photos of D&G, we'll do probably Armani next month, I was like, no way. When I saw my cow, and where is it? Look at that. And this is what they are saying is going to be the fashion for the next autumn and winter next year. Well, we're already there, people. So come on, if you want to look like a Dolce & Gabbana walking down the catwalk, you can do it. It's wonderful. So I think it's actually very versatile. Very heated rivalry too, wouldn't you say? So there we are. That's Yukip and a fashion yarn. Let me know if you're a fan of fashion yarns. I know some people love them. Some of you might be having flashbacks to the fashion yarn. Can you remember the eyelash fashion yarn? Fizz has just said yes. Let me know in the chat if you can, if you're a fan of fashion yarns, or if you can remember some really old fashion fancy yarns. Because there've been some. I remember one from Rowan, and it was kind of like a mesh, but it was twisted spiral, and you had to knit into that core edge and pull it round. But when you finished it, it made a beautiful spirally sort of scarf thing. Oh, Fizz has just said she made one of those. I reckon that was that probably late 80s, early 90s? Oh, Fizz just said she's just... Oh, Fizz just did it. So, well, I suppose it all depends on what you get in your yarn shop, what your local yarn shop gets. Remember, some yarn shops will hold different yarns and different types. It is polyester. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but do you know what? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's a bit of fun. So yeah, let's see, before we go on to guest of the year, let's see the chat. It's always nice to see who's there. I see so many familiar faces, so many W's. It's wonderful. Curly Sue says, we are recording Pottery Throwdown, but it will have to leave at 9 p.m. Well, we finish at 9. It's the new show for the new year. It's back to an hour, because I know we've all got things to do. I know when I watch YouTube, an hour is just about right. So me and... Fizz had a tech, and we've said, right, this is what we're going to do. So it will be finish at 9, guarantee. Oh, and I hope you're feeling better, Sue, too. Patrick's in. Hello. I'm going to be showing Patrick's pattern later on. So stay tuned for the news that's coming up. Oh, you got snow, have you? Ooh. Karen says, I've knitted lots of those ribbon yarn scarves. That's it. It is that. I remember pom-pom yarn. Oh, now is that the one where you've got the pom-pom and then a bit of yarn and the pom-pom, and you're supposed to knit like 2 stitches with that bit in between, and then it makes a beautiful blanket of just squishy pom-poms. Sue says, I've made several scarves as gifts with fashion yarn, and that's why I like it. It is a one-off wonder, and it doesn't have to stay on the shelf all year round. It's a bit like King Cole tinsel. We had that in a couple of times just for Christmas, a bit of fun. And not a repeat order, well, unless it flies out of the window. But now, when you feel it, you might just go, oh. But it's a one-ball wonder. A one-ball wonder fashion yarn. Kiwi James is in. Oh no, you're still poorly. 1 minute he was poorly, then he was better, and keep us updated. So this will cheer you up, Kiwi James. We're going to go to guest of the year. It's back to my teaching days. You're going to see a picture of me with the wonderful Maasai Warriors, and I'll tell you more about them in a little while. You've got to guess the year of me as a teacher. I was a young teacher with very little hair, I had the buzz cut to try and, make me a bit harder so the kids would listen to what I say. I was just made head of the department, and I came up with this grand idea to have an arts week at the end of the year where we'd have all sorts of arty things going on: drama, dance, music and art, whether it was exhibitions, whether it was kids' performances. And we would finish with the Friday Spectacular, where we would get someone in, and we got the Maasai Warriors in. And when I show you, the people in the UK will go, oh, it's them. But what you got to do is guess the year of me as a teacher in my early days. Have a giggle at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, where's my camera gone? Come on, guess the year while I sort the camera out. Where's it gone? There we go. Pop it in the chat. What year do you think that is? With very little hair. And my colleague there, we were an all-male drama department, and we were having an absolute whale of a time. Hey Elkie, hey Emma, 1998. Curly's going for 1995. Curly Sue, Jimbo, 2008. If you're playing at home on catch up, shout it out. Might be able to hear. Susan, hey Susan, good to see you. 1998. Bev, Bev's a new W'er. Thanks, Bev. It's lovely to have you as a Woolpatch channel member. 2010. Wow, I'm looking good. Jen says 1999. Fibro Lady 2001. Hey Diane, good to have you here. 1994. Karen 1992. Kiwi James 2000. I remember them visiting when I was at primary school. They were everywhere, weren't they? 1985. Patrick's going for 2003. Hey Anthony, 2022. Michelle, good to see you, Michelle. 2002. Oh, right. Okay. We meant 2002. The answer of that particular year when the Maasai Warriors came in was 2005. So what was I? 76, 86, 96, 2006. I was 29. I remember it like yesterday. Kiwi James says, oh, that looks small, doesn't it? Should we make that a bit bigger? There we go. You couldn't post that photo on the BBC. Too many nipples on the show. Well, it's funny you say that because it was the BBC. They are the Maasai Warriors of the BBC Ident. Back in the day, can you remember that? Back in the day when they had it was just after the years of having the balloon, the BBC red balloon floating over all parts of the country. But this is when they went to people and places, and they were just everywhere. And I loved it when they chose this ident. And let's have a look. I think it might play a YouTube ad first. Typical. We've got an ad for something else, not our show. But here we go.
I curate every touch point. Ident today. So let's have a look at Maasai.
Now put in the chat, I remember this. I remember this. If you're in the UK, I remember this. Can you remember these Maasai Warriors? They were fabulous. That is them doing their amazing jumping and their show. And they then came on tour to the UK, and I was like, oh, we've got to have them for our Friday Spectacular, our Friday finale, as we called it. And we did. I phoned up many people, managed to get them, and they are them. And we had a fabulous time. They came in Friday afternoon, and we had year 7 and year 8 off timetable round back. It was high summer, so we were on the grass. We've got lots of grassy areas at our school, and they came and did their show, and they were brilliant. They got the kids involved as well, because the whole point was to get 2 people in the middle doing the jumping. So they would have one of the Maasai Warriors in the middle, and they would pull kids in to do the jumping too. Oh, it was great. And then afterwards, when everyone had left, we said, can we have our pictures? So we had our pictures taken with them. So there we go. So yes, they were the ones off the BBC coming in. I remember that. Oh, fond memories. Right. Let's take a look at what's coming up in the shop. Where are we with the shop? Well, you've just seen this new delivery. We're getting still some autumn winter yarns in. Then the summer stuff will come in. But I just wanted to give you an update on where we are on the timeline of my second lease coming to an end. 5 years will come up, well, the second 5 years will come up in September. So we're starting to look at what to do for the future, and to expand my lovely little shop, because I'd like to do more dyeing. And currently in the premises I'm in, I can't do the lavender and blue dyeing. I can't develop access to sinks and space. So starting to look at different premises where perhaps we can expand the shop, expand the knit and natter, and expand the dyeing, so I can dye during the day. Because currently I'm at the shop and I have a lovely time making the knit and natter ladies and gents teas and coffees. But when it gets a bit quiet, there's sometimes not much for me to do. I could do some computer work and all that. I could clean some shelves. But then sometimes I'll just sit with the knit and natter ladies and do some knitting or do some crocheting. Whereas actually what I could be doing is I could be producing more lavender and blue. Currently, I can only do that at home on Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays. But it would make more sense to be so much more efficient with my time. When it's quiet, I could also be dyeing lavender and blue. So that's perhaps where the vision of the shop is going. So it's sort of developing that side of the shop, so we are a destination shop, but also for the tourists that want to find out more about lavender and blue, they could come to the shop, they could watch me actually do the dyeing, and maybe even do some workshops too, because I'll have space for the lavender and blue dye vats to be set up. So that's an idea of that. And then the knit and natter ladies could be on the other side of the shop, and the shop could be perhaps in and around them. But the most important thing is better, more efficient use of the time. Because I say currently my lavender and blue shelf looks a bit poorly. There's hardly anything there because I need to get out in the garage here dyeing, but you know what it's like, it's a bit cold and a bit brr. But then I'm thinking during the week when it's quiet and I'm waiting for customers to come into the shop, it's just not efficient use of time, is it? Whereas I could be dyeing. And then when tourists come in at the moment, there's not much on the shelf, I then get frustrated. So that's perhaps what we want to do. And how exciting would that be? To have bigger premises, not too big, obviously, because you know what it's like. You've got to weigh up the money for the bills and the utilities as well as the rent. But another room, a building that's got what we've got at the moment, but with another room where I could just move to the side, not completely off, because you don't want to be enclosed away. You still almost want it open plan, where people can see where I am and I can still watch customers come in, etc. So that's the idea. And don't forget, also coming up this year, we'll try and keep you sort of up to date with that by having our new lives. Yes, me and Fizz said, come on, let's get the schedule sorted. So we've just made a schedule of all our lives, and I've scheduled them all on YouTube. But our new one is a Wednesday midweek show live from the shop. So I'll be there at the shop, chatting away, and showing you the shop, showing you what's new, and we can look at yarns close up. We can answer questions about yarns. So it'll be really shop specific. Whereas this here, our Sunday show, is a generic look into the world of knitting and crocheting. But that's where it will be quite exciting, because on those Wednesday chats, as the months progress, I'll be able to keep you up to date with what's happening on the shop. Have we found any new premises? What's happening? Because ultimately, I have to make a decision in March that I'm not going to stay where I am now, or whether I am going to stay. So March is going to be a huge point of whether I actually am going to go for a bigger premise, or whether I'm actually not, and we're just going to stay where we are, or I'm not. So many things to think about. So those Wednesday shows will be great. So if you're not doing anything Wednesday midweek, you can hang out with me at the shop. But we've made a nice little sheet with our schedule, because I know some of you are really organised. You like put it in your diaries. But Fizz will drop the link in so you can see our schedule. And you know what we're like, the teacher in me is like, we always keep to that. We always keep to those dates. So in fact, I've put them all into YouTube, and you might have got notifications or not, I don't know, but it's weird though. I put all the dates into YouTube, and then suddenly the next day I'd lost like 35 subscribers, and I'm like, oh no, have they got fed up with me writing down all our shows? But there we go. I think they might have been Game of Wool people, and perhaps like they'll come back when Game of Wool comes back next year. Diane says, do you have the space and resources to dine out? No, this is where it's all frustrating, because I've got such a tiny kitchen now. It's lovely for the shop as is, but there is just no way I could have the tables and the divats. The divats are a bit smelly too. And there's no way I could then take the divats through to the kitchen where we're making tea and coffee. It just wouldn't work. Otherwise, I would stay there, because we're slap bang in a wool town in the middle, and it would be wonderful. I'd say if only I could just nick a bit of room from next door, the cafe, the tea room next door. Can I have that room, please? That'd be great. Karen says, will they be able to have oh, yes, you will. Yeah, of my current shop. And I know people say when we did that lovely game of shops. No, what's it? I forgot the name of my own show. A Game of Wool, a song of local yarn shops. When we went to see Laura in Bath, we had to fit ourselves in. So I had to go into the shop early morning to record it. I couldn't do it from home. And actually a lot of people said, oh, I loved seeing your shop as well, Stuart. So I think it'll be nice. And nice for you to see the shop, see it in action. And also for you to go, oh, can we have a look at that yarn? And I could just get it off the shelf and show you. Oh, yeah, cheers, Patrick. It's absolutely scary, because obviously if I make the decision not to renew, I've got to find premises to move to for September when the lease actually runs out. And if you then don't find premises, you're then scuppered, aren't you? It's really restrictive in that respect. It's also, you could see it as incredibly exciting, which I'm half glass full person all the time. So I just think something will come up. We'll find somewhere, or something will just happen. If we don't choose to go to a new shop and we stay where we are, then a different direction will be taken. Whatever happens, March will be the first one, and you'll be the first to know all about it. Do you have to give 6-month notice of not renewing the existing list? I do, absolutely. That's why March is the key. I know. Yeah, it's the welcome to the world of business. As you know, Kiwi James has got his own shop too. Oh, hey, Annabelle, good to have you here. That's all right, don't worry. Kiwi James says, is there the possibility of finding a new location closer to your home to cut down? I could. I just don't think Lavender and Blue and selling that as a dyeing studio and a yarn, don't think it works not near Lavenham. So I've got to be in Lavenham, Melford or Sudbury, really. So they're the places I'm looking at. So yes, it does narrow me down, but I'm sure it's got to be worth it. If I did that here near home, people would be going, well, what are you doing in Lavenham Blue for? Some people won't even know Lavenham. And then just before we move on to the gallery, an update on the World Cup. That's our next big world knit along. We're finalising the pattern. We found a knitting pattern, still looking at a crochet pattern. We've gone for the football tops. So we're going for football tops and scarves. And Jan, our knitter natterer, on Thursday afternoon, she is knocking up a prototype. Found a pattern off Ravelry. She's knocking up a prototype and we'll be showing you that on a special show sometime in February, a pre-recorded one that will explain all about it. But you're already getting excited. I know I've spoken about Katharina, who I've been chatting with on Instagram. She's already making all sorts of football related stuff. It's brilliant. And we've been having a whale of a time with our finger puppets and playing football. And she's now sent through, we've got a goalpost. How cool is that? I mean, just look at the work on that and putting piping in there. So we've got a goalpost and we've got some footballer bookmarks. So look at that. Look, they're cool. And she said we can give them away as prizes for kiddies. How nice is that? Look, she's made some grass. So Katharina is really getting into it. Katharina, thank you so much. It's going to be an amazing window, then filled with all your football jerseys. It's a sort of about that big, currently, the prototype. You'll be choosing your nation. You'll be knitting up that jersey stripe or whatever nation flag in your jersey. You could even do it as football kit if you're a big fan and you know the football kit colours. But otherwise, you'll just choose your nation, you'll choose the flag and then put those colours into your football kit. And then the window is going to be a wash of all the teams. It's going to look amazing. So we've got that to come, but we'll tell you more about that in February. So there you are. That's all the shop news. Right. Time to slow down the pace a bit and have a look at all your work in the gallery. It's nice to go back to this. If you want your work to be shown, easiest thing to do is tag us at the Woolpatch on Instagram, or you can email us, up to you, and then we'll find your pictures and we'll add them to the gallery. But it's my favourite part of this. We get to slow down the pace a bit, put your patchwork down if you're sewing, put your crochet down if you're doing that, put whatever it is down and just watch. Though saying that, many of you are multi-talented and you can carry on knitting and watching the telly anyway. But take a look at this amazing work in this month's gallery. Fabulous. So many wonderful makes. We love looking at them. So all you have to do is, if you're on Instagram, you can tag us when you post your pic. If you don't want to ruin all your chat section, your description, when you post a picture, you can put it in the comments. Just put at the Woolpatch and tag us, so we can then go, oh, someone's tagged us. I can go to the tag and then see the picture and go, oh, lovely. And then I just save it in a special folder. And actually, people might know this, Patrick. I know you're a whiz on Instagram and other people, but in doing the saving, I think that tells the Instagram algorithm that your post is good too. So actually, it works in both ways. I think that the fact that I'm saving it to put into our gallery means that you then get a saved post, which does wonders too. But you can also email them too. And it's just to celebrate your work. So never feel like, oh no, my work's not good enough to go in the gallery. It's not about that, because we're all at different journeys, aren't we, with our knitting? Some people have just started. Some people have been knitting years and years and years. It's just about going, this is one I've made. And people often look at the gallery and go, oh, I love that pattern. And then with Fizz putting all the links into the patterns, if we can find them, and most of you, when you do post, you actually put the pattern in. So Fizz then finds that pattern, and then we have the link to that. So you can find that. So you can go to gallery on my Woolpatch site, thewoolpatch.com/gallery. And you can see all the information from the posts, and then you can find wherever that pattern is and hopefully be inspired. We've seen amazing stuff over the years. We've been doing this, 3 years? 4 years, Fizz? Just whizzes by. Echo. Oh, is there an echo? Oh, I don't know, Whitney. It's good to see you though, Whitney. Lovely to have you joining us. Oh, and a W2. Shall we talk fashion? Let's go into it in a bit more detail then. So, Milan Fashion Week, big ribs. Now, there are 100 models walking down the catwalk for D&G. We're not going to go through all those 100 pics, otherwise we'll be here for like a couple of hours. Fizz doesn't hear an echo, so okay, Whitney, I'm not sure what's wrong there, but hopefully there's nothing there. But the theme from the D&G catwalk was definitely big ribs. Now look at those collars. And how wonderful to see knitwear really shining through. Did you see all the knitwear on Traitors? There was an interesting article about the Traitors knitwear. Is it Matty? Was saying he purposely chose knitwear because of the look that it gives across. Why would you ever think that someone who wears knitwear would be bad? And it's true, isn't it? Because we talked about this before. In Hollywood, in movies, they use knitwear to help portray characters. Now, we've talked about it before, that they tend to use knitwear to put across stereotypes and perhaps associate it in a negative way. Tends to be like if you're playing a poorer person or a lower class older person, they tend to put them in a big baggy crochet granny square. It gives that look, doesn't it? And knitwear does have I think, what do we call that? It's this bias, isn't it? An unconscious bias. That if we see someone in a certain type of knitwear, do we just go, oh, they're classy? Or do we go, oh, they're refined? Do we do that? If it's a knitted tank top, because there were specific types of knitwear, whether it was Shetland, Fair Isle, or that perceived two colour work or 2 yarn colour work tank tops, or the big super chunky knits, and how that helped them put across their character, or how it how they then would be perceived by the other faithfuls or traitors. They're like, no, they're not going to be a traitor because they're in knitwear. So fashion and what they're wearing on the traitors, they are really, really thinking about. Because I saw an article, Stephen, wasn't it? What did he say? That hopefully people will be just looking at my cool fashion to not look at my red face if I was a traitor. So it is absolutely fascinating. There is a BBC article about traitors. So I wouldn't surprise me. Yes, I think I just saw a couple of Instagram posts where they were talking about it. But I bet that's a very good article indeed. Indeed, it is stereotypes, which can be used well to reinforce an image quickly, to put something across, but it can also be used, you're like, oh, come on, we've seen that before, let's move on from that. So there are the pros and cons, I know about it, but look at this here, a huge big knits. So if you're knitting something this year and you want to be on trend, maybe you just go on, make that rib bigger. Make that collar bigger. I love it. Absolutely love it. Kiwi James, you say big rib is back. I say it looks like Brill cream. I know. Yeah, absolutely. Oh dear. Hey Margaret, big rib, not for me, sorry. It's not everyone's cup of tea. But Margaret, are you going to like this? Yeah, Dr. Gabbana, faux fur, big time. Look at that. That coat is this. If you were to knit, because they actually give a garment size for this, you need 10 balls for a medium-sized jumper. 10 balls at £19. But then saying that, if you go look at Hope Macaulay and all her big chunky knits that you buy knitted up by a group of team, it is about £200-300. But yeah, so all those tips, like the raccoon tips, theirs is just white tips, whereas ours have got the black tips. But yeah, faux fur is on the runway at Milan, people. Chris, hey Chris. These are giving gangster vibes. Oh, you should see some. I've only put a few on here, but Fizz has put the links in so you can see all 100 images. You can either look at them separately, or you can watch the YouTube of all 100 coming down the catwalk with lots of close-ups. But the suits, wonderful. Stand back, stun. Oh, there you go. So you're going to... Or, as I say, if you want the cowl, 19 quid, Margaret. Because Margaret's a fan of fancy yarns. If you remember back to Christmas when we did the bottle covers, the Chianti cardies, Margaret did some fabulous gold tinsel and green tinsel. Margaret, here you go. Can I be on the D&G catwalk? I like a big rib, but I would knit one. One shop bought for me. Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So there we go. If you want Yukip, which is this, it's 90 quid a ball and it's a one order wonder. When it's sold out, I'm not getting it in again. Fancy yarns aren't very good at repeating. Yes, scroll. We'll put the link in the description if you're watching on catch up. Otherwise, in the chat there. Right, okay. Let's take a look at some news now that is across the whole world. News in brief, I like to call this. The wait is finally over. Chagu quads have finally been released and are now available in shops and online. Can you remember back in 2025 when I went to the H&H Cologne trade show of all things yarn and fabric? Chowgu was showing off the quads as a potential thing to be released that year. But they were fine-tuning it, and they said it perhaps would be later on the year. Well, finally it's come. They are released and they are available from shops, so go look online. It's the closing chapter of the fibre company. After more than 2 decades of creating and sharing yarn, they're entering the closing chapter. They are winding down the yarn side of the fibre company, and over the coming months, they are selling through their remaining inventory. They're grateful to everyone who's been part of this journey, and they look forward to sharing this final season with you. They are offering 20% discount on their website. This is their way of inviting you to enjoy their yarns one more time, thoughtfully and at your own pace, as they move through the final season. 2 new knitting patterns for you from Textilian Studios and Jimmy Does Knitting. The first is from Patrick of Textilian Studios, Sleeping Satellite, which is now available on Ravelry. The Sleeping Satellite shawl is a crescent-shaped brioche lace shawl. From now through January the 26th, you will receive 20% off the price of the Sleeping Satellite, so go take a look now. Let's take a look at Jimmy's new pattern of Jimmy Does Knitting. Jimmy has a sweater, the Safe Harbour sweater, featured in the new 52 Weeks of Sweaters book from Liner magazine. The sweater uses a traditional Guernsey motif to create a cosy, oversized garment that is designed to fit any body. The sample as shown is knit with BC yarn, Loch Lomond. The subtle tweed and the woolen spun yarn accentuate the fisherman's coolness of the design. I just turned the volume up there at the last minute. Sorry, we all going a bit like this. You want like hello with that Edith? Is that what she did with the big trumpet coming out? So hopefully that was better. I know. I saw them and felt them back in March 2025, and they were wonderful. But they knew they weren't ready because we couldn't sign up for anything there. And they said, we're hoping later on towards the end of the year. And of course, that didn't happen, did it? But finally, we're there now. So it's being shipped out as we speak. So find your local yarn shop. See if they've got them, if you're into it. And if not, I'm sure you'll find somewhere where you can order them from. But they were lovely for sure. Hey Lois, don't worry, it's nice to have you here regardless. You're very welcome, Patrick. It's lovely to be able to highlight friends of the show and what they're doing, and share the pattern. And speaking of which, that's what we'd like to do now. So we're going to go to the wheel. I am going to treat a channel member to Patrick's pattern. I'm going to go on, and whoever wins, I will then send it as a gift, and you will be able to get a pattern of your choice too, for being a channel member. So let's spin the wheel, Fizz, and see who wins. Who's going to get Patrick's pattern, Sleeping Satellite? Emmy, there you go. Well done, Emmy. Emmy, you have won Sleeping Satellite, so I'll gift that to you on Ravelry. And if there's also a pattern that you've always wanted, a knitting pattern or a crochet pattern, because I know you're a big crocheter, let me know, and I will gift that to you too, to thank you for being a channel member. And we'll continue to do that over the year. Just a little thank you for those who choose to sign up and become a channel member. So there we are. Now, next fun little feature. It's, for many of us, it's taken the TV evening on the sofa by storm. Heated rivalry. 6 episodes of just pure wonderfulness. You've got to remember, for me as a gay bloke, watching TV and films with heterosexual couples, you just don't get that same connection when they fall in love and it ends happily ever after. So to finally see 2 people two gay blokes on a storyline who absolutely fall hook, line and sinker in love with each other in a nice way is wonderful to see. Obviously, there are still big issues about sport and the idea of not being able to come out in this day and age as well, still, because they whiz through time. It's not like they were making this, showing the story in 1988, like it was for me as a gay kid. They were doing this in 2016 time, and they're still struggling. So I thought, well, why not have our own feature called Heated Ravelry? Our chance to highlight LGBTQ plus knitter, designer, crocheter, crafter. They may be just someone who likes to craft. They might just like doing it. They might be a designer, but yeah, that's our chance to highlight them. So let's go to this button here and have a giggle. Here we go. Have you seen San Nail Instagram? Well, if not, you should. You need to whiz over. Obviously not now. I have only come across him in the last week. The wonders of Instagram. Sometimes there are ads in between. Sometimes there are reposts. Well, his crochet is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look at that blue short sleeved shirt there, and then look at the brown crochet vest top. Wonderful work, stunning designer. Currently no patterns as of yet. He's just a talented bloke who is making his own stuff and getting yarn, and his Instagram reels are great. He'll show you pictures of yarn, he'll show you pictures of him crocheting. But the crochet is stunning. And you can see people going, pattern, 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 pattern. He is also stunning, and in the LGBTQ plus world. So go take a follow. Go and onto his Instagram. I've not reached out to him yet, but if you do, just say, oh, we found out about you from the Woolpatch Show January, and your work is brilliant. Because I want to do that shirt. And what's clever about his construction is they are, from what I've seen from his videos, is they are just 2 strips. So it's casting on that many and going up vertically. So you've got, where are we? So you've got the left front and just one long, as if you're doing a scarf that comes round the back, and then the right front that goes up. So, and then all you have to do is you then have to graft your collar on and then put the sleeves in. But look at it. I know many of you might spend the next half an hour when we finish at 9 going through and having a look, but please do. And also a shout out, if you know any LGBT plus designers, knitters that you think, come on, let's give them more of a shout out, let's flag them up, then please do drop me a message on Instagram, DM me or email me and say, oh, you need to show blah, blah, blah. And we'll do 1 or 2 every month. And I'll continue to look as well. Obviously, we know many of our viewers, we've bigged them up over the years too. But it's nice to perhaps give a little shining light from my show to perhaps people we don't know about. And for me, San was one of them. So go give him a follow and say you saw it on the Woolpatch Show. So he might just then reach out and make me a top, even though I could do it myself. Well, no, I actually can't, because his skills are just brilliant. What are you all saying about him? Bob? Oh, hey, Bob. I know. Yes. Do you like the idea? Yes. Lois, absolutely. Hey, Patrick says he wears it, doesn't he just? Tranism, good to see you. Woohoo! It's wonderful. Okay, a couple of minutes left. As always, we finish the show with our charts, the hot right now. What is everyone looking at on Ravelry? We just go to those drop-down boxes. Once you've gone to advanced search, we go to the drop-down box, click on hot right now, and in theory, it's taking all the clicks of what people are looking at and putting them into a chart from 1 to wherever, and we're just looking at the top 10. So let's have a look at the crochet charts. You ready for that, Fizz? For the crochet hot right now, what's at the top 10? Sorry, Fizz. That was the fast version. She's there. Link for the top 10. Lovely to see so many there. Martin there with his mosaic crochet and Beba blanket as well. Knitting charts before Christmas, because we've stopped doing the charts now. We've been doing them for 3 years. Can you believe that? Every Sunday, Fizz and I get together and grabbed what was hot right now and released the charts. But actually, so we've got a lot of data on many of the designers. But I found over the last 4 weeks before Christmas, it was pretty much the same all the time. We hadn't actually seen the ranunculus for ages, had we, Fizz? No. But we were... Well, I thought, yeah... We thought, well, perhaps ranunculus is going to reappear again, because for the last 4 weeks up to Christmas, it was pretty much all of step-by-step jumper and petite knits, whether it was the hood or the scarf. So we were seeing 4 or 5 in the charts all the time. So it was getting a bit boring. So that's why we decided to end it. We thought it had its time, but we thought it's still nice to have a look at for our monthly shows, just to keep on top of what people are looking at. So let's see what's in the knitting chart and if those patterns are still there. Here we go. Here's the top 10 hot right now knitting charts. Fabulous. Not too bad. So 3 there, step by step, the hood and the scarf. But I know a lot of people are saying they have their opinions of it, but that scarf still is a great little knit to do and accessorize it with so many different outfits, and you can use so many different yarns. You can adapt how long you want it to be as well. So it is really accessible from that point of view. Hey Tandy, isn't it just Birds and Blooms is pretty. Margaret says 10, 9, 8 are my faves. Fabulous. Well, there we are. Look at that. 9 o'clock. We said it's going to be an hour show. We whizzed through. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's lovely seeing you here. No, definitely not. No 30-minute overrun. That's it. Because I know stuff's on the telly for 9, so we let you get off to watch that too. If you want more, we'll see you Wednesdays. Now, that is a long show because that's an unproduced show. That is just me and Fizz in the shop talking about the shop, showing off yarns, what's new, having a look round, chatting informally. I'll have my knitting or my crocheting and it will be really relaxed and unproduced. And then we'll see you again, looking at the schedule in a month's time for the February show. And by then we will have told you about the World Cup and we will definitely be announcing it in that show too. Because I know Whitney, you'll be there, won't you? Whitney's like, give me more time. I want to get involved. I want to be knitting and crocheting something for the window. And I know you all love it. So you'll all have plenty of time to get involved with that. So there we are. It's been a lovely Sunday evening. I'm Dimmer Beth with the ulcer. I hope you've enjoyed the show. And if you're watching on Catch Up, I hope that was a nice hour for you. Did you get a lot done? Jane, are you watching on Catch Up? Have you been knitting, or were you watching? Did you put it down? Were you agog at looking at the heated Ravelry or the big ribs? Yes, Whitney. Yes, I knew you wanted to get involved. We will definitely give you more time. Thanks, everyone. It's lovely having your company, and see you either in 2 weeks or in 4 weeks. It'll be lovely to have your company. Cheers. Thanks, Fizz. See you. Bye.